Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us, coming to you from Washington's premier shooting facility. Of course, that's Security Gun Club right here in Woodinville, Washington. Would have loved to have gotten to this video a couple hours ago when news was breaking, but I got this little thing called law practice I got to run. But as many of you have already heard, yes, the king himself has chosen to resign. Wayne LaPierre will be stepping down as president of the NRA effective at the end of this month. Interestingly, an announcement right before a big lawsuit. And if you had a chance to read some of the pleadings in that lawsuit, it may have some teeth to it. Now, I know this has had a lot of mixed reactions. I know that people have a lot of very strong feelings about the NRA. We have expressed some of our opinions of the NRA as well today. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of take a look back. We're going to try an objective look at what's going on, figure out, is this a good thing or a bad thing? So for a few minutes today, let's try to stay objective and let's talk about, could the NRA become relevant again? Okay, dateline January 5th, 2024. As you are aware, NRA President Wayne LaPierre has announced that he will be stepping down effective the end of this month. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, there are a lot of people with a lot of very, very strong feelings about Mr. LaPierre and the NRA. I also have very, very strong feelings. I am going to try today as best as I can to remain as objective and stick true to the mission here at Washington Gun Law, which is, I'm not going to tell you all how to think, but I am going to give you some stuff to think about. And so the question today, is this a good thing or a bad thing for the NRA? Now, just to cut to the punchline, I believe this is a good thing. As a matter of fact, I believe this is a really, really good thing. And let me explain where my position comes from. Now, taking aside many of the things that the NRA may still be good at, and yes, I recognize that NRA instructors are some of the best in the business. And yes, I recognize that the NRA does have a very long, rich history of fighting for Second Amendment rights. However, I also think that we should assess an organization's viability based upon, what have you done for me lately? Now, here at Washington Gun Law, we routinely have to report about state legislators, the ATF, and the federal government absolutely being hell-bent on trying to strip you, the lawful and responsible gun-owning American somewhere in this country, of what is supposed to be an inalienable right. And thank God that there are many, many organizations that are willing to throw in on these things and to challenge these laws, because I want you all to understand that if you're a private citizen and you decide you're going to take the violation of your Second Amendment right case all the way to the Supreme Court on your own, and you're actually successful at getting there, yeah, you're looking at probably a couple $1 million in legal fees. So if you got really deep pockets, congratulations. But as we know, most of these plaintiffs are not these kinds of people. They're oftentimes small mom-pop FFLs or other small business owners. And so who ends up picking up the bill? Who ends up leading the charge? Who ends up putting together cases like Heller and Bruin and McDonald? Well, it is organizations such as the Firearms Policy Coalition, the Gun Owners of America, the Second Amendment Foundation, the National Association for Gun Rights. Now, these are the national organizations that if you geek out on this channel, you will see their names mentioned time and time and time again. And if you don't believe me, just go through the description box of all of the videos I've posted about any major piece of litigation and take a look at who I am asking you to give money to. And you will see the same old suspects. It will be GOA, FPC, SAF. It will be the National Association for Gun Rights. Why? Because time and time and time again, that's who I see in the trenches fighting like holy hell, getting their knuckles bloodied, trying to preserve your inalienable rights. And at the end of the day, if you're not fighting like hell, if you're not willing to get into the trenches and fight for a person's Second Amendment rights, then what exactly are you doing? And so my concern, as I see it, and you could take this for what it's worth, is that other than a consistent amount of mailers, I do not see the NRA doing massive lobbying efforts. And if they are doing them, they're not oftentimes successful. And predominantly what we focus on here at this channel is, do I see bold and brash plaintiff pleadings being advanced on behalf of innocent citizens nationwide, trying to ensure that their Second Amendment rights are protected? I most certainly do. I love to geek out about all of that. But you know what? How many times have you ever seen, hey, this is the case of NRA v. Garland? They just don't exist. And so I think that this is going to be an absolutely wonderful thing for the NRA, because in many ways, it's nowhere but up from here. Because I don't know what you've become. I don't know what your mission is, and I don't know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And many of my viewers share that exact same sentiment. So what I am hopeful for is that the NRA will use this as an opportunity. It is an amazing opportunity, but it's an amazing opportunity for you to put somebody in leadership who does not care who gets the credit, so long as we get the right results. We need the NRA to be far more active in litigation throughout the country. So I hope that the NRA actually goes out and looks for somebody who can really redefine the mission. And if the mission is going to be to go out and truly fight for the Second Amendment rights of Americans nationwide, then get somebody who understands how to fight. Listen, you may have more questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights. Now, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information, it's right down there in the description box. Now, in the meantime, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.